beaten in Tampa Bay. So this is another great challenge for them, but it's a much of a challenge for New England because they really are outclassed in terms of talent.
And we'll be back to take a closer look at the personnel that you'll be watching here tonight as the Tampa Bay Rowdies host the New England Teamen. But first, a brief timeout for this. Well, certainly on form, Tampa Bay has to rule as the favorites for tonight's game. They are playing, of course, before the home crowd. They do have better personnel, at least in the early stage of the indoor season. And some of the people will be watching tonight for Tampa Bay, Seamus, Peter Baralich, number 15, an excellent player.
Very skillful player, very experienced player, a player whom you can't really allow to get free very much. And you would think in confined space and indoors that's pretty easy to accomplish, to shut him down. But he really, the rest of the team are too strong to be able to do that.
And the leading scorer in the division, we've seen him once before here on ESPN, a very exciting player. Yes. Number 5, another guy to watch, is Jan van der Veen.
Yeah. For my money, I think he's the best player in the team. It's hard to compare forwards and midfielders and so forth, but Van der Veen really has tremendous physical strength, a good vision of the game, and just a blistering shot.
And some other key personnel, 8, Wes McLeod, number 9, Peter Anderson. They're very tough on that forward line.
Yes, we saw Anderson get a very good goal here last week against Atlanta, and he's a very tough player in close.
And the goalkeeper, an excellent one. He leads the division in goals against average, Jelko Bilecki. He just was marvelous in the one prior game that we had the Tampa Bay Rowdies in here on ESPN.
He made some great saves. And in fact, that was a game which really could have swung against them at one point in that match. And he really came up with 2 or 3 classic saves that really turned the tide back, and Tampa Bay went on to run out a 6-2 win.
New England, on the other hand, has some question marks, but some excellent players, mostly American-based. We have 18, Dale Peterson, number 19, Steve Reed. They've carried the scoring load so far, each with 4 goals.
Well, New England really is up against it tonight. There's no question about that, no point in concealing it. They've lost some good players. Ringo Cantillo can't play tonight. Keith Weller, we'll talk about that a bit more. He's not here. So they're now relying on some local players, even some players from New Bedford, whom they've recruited from the Portuguese league down there. So that's going to be a tough situation for them.
And another guy we'll watch very closely is Kevin Welsh, number 11, who, Seamus, has your old job as the assistant soccer coach at Harvard.
That's right, and doing a heck of a better job, I'm forced to admit.
I'm sure modesty is what led you to say that. Now, in the goal, we really have a question mark, really, for the New England team. And Patrick Wasmuth is out of South Africa, but I say question mark and put a quote around it because he played one game and he won it.
Well, he won the game last week for them, 5-4. He made some good saves, I guess some key saves. But I have to agree with you. He is a bit of a known quantity. Nobody in the league knows much about him. And Fort Lauderdale, the first team to see him. So Tampa Bay will get their first look at him, too, as well as us.
So those are the key personnel for tonight's match between the Tampa Bay Rowdies and the New England Teamen here at Bayfront Center Arena in St. Petersburg, Florida. We'll be back with more in just a moment. And here on ESPN, Lou Palmer, along with Seamus Mallon, bringing you North American Soccer League Indoor Soccer. Tonight, the New England Teamen taking on the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Let's have a quick look at the lineups now, the rosters. First of all, for the New England Teamen. Wearing number 2 tonight will be Helder Matus. Number 5 will be George Lamptey. Patrick Wasmuth is the goalkeeper. Leo Ramos, Carlos Mendez are defensemen. Garnett Moen, a forward, and Kevin Walsh, who'll wear number 11, also a forward. Dennis Witt, number 13. Brian Alderson, number 15. Juan Cano will be number 16. John Lignos, number 17. Dale Peterson, number 18. And Steve Reed, number 19. That's the lineup for the Teamen. And they're underway. We'll take a quick look, as we can, at the Tampa Bay Rowdies, led by number 15, Peter Baralich, who has 7 goals, 5 assists, and 19 points. All along the far side, in the white home uniforms, of course, are the Tampa Bay Rowdies, now in pursuit of the ball right around midfield. NASL indoor soccer, and the records coming at the game time: 3-1 for the Rowdies, 1-2 for the New England Teamen. Cleared by the New England goalkeeper, Patrick Wasmuth, and Wasmuth, with a very fine record in his one appearance, he posted a win. 28 shots attempted, had 14 saves, and they beat Fort Lauderdale's strikers 5-4 in overtime. An attempt by Farouk Qureshi, and the light went on, but I think that had to be inadvertent. There was no goal there. There was a foul whistled up, however, Seamus.
Yes, the goalkeeper, in making the save, handled the ball outside the area, so it's a handball free kick for Tampa.
All right, the Rowdies line up. Number 5 is Jan van der Veen, but they pass over on the far board. I guy to keep your eye on tonight for the Tampa Bay Rowdies will be this young man, Farouk Qureshi. Number 8, Wes McLeod, and goal from the right wing by Peter Anderson. As Anderson takes the pass from McLeod and makes the score 1-0.
Well, Anderson was given only one place to put the ball. He was given the far corner, which is what you have to concede as a goalkeeper, and he's such a pro. He just stuck it right in that far corner of that nice feed from McLeod.
Fine assist as they went across the far board, then centered to McLeod, and McLeod put it on the right wing for a goal by Peter Anderson. And the Tampa Bay Rowdies have the early 1-0 lead in the first of 4 15-minute quarters. This will be a foul whistled up against the New England teamen. And the New England teamen will have the free kick. The foul, I beg your pardon, whistled up against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Tampa Bay in the white, New England in that yellow, orange, red combination, attacking down the right side of the board. Their leading scorers are Dale Peterson and Steve Reed, each with 4 goals. Peterson has 2 assists as well. Reed, no assists. Anderson, who scored the goal, feeds down the left side, and then in the middle, breaking up the play for the New England teaman is George Lamptey, number 5. You'll notice when we get a tighter shot on Lamptey that he has a huge cast on that left hand, has a broken finger. So they've been hit hard, Seamus, by some injuries, and also some missing players who have gone away for the holidays, including their head coach. Nice play there by the goalkeeper, wasn't it?
He came out very well and just got down at the last second in order to stop that ball from slipping under his body. Well, the teammen are really hurting from injuries and all kinds of other personnel problems, but they're going to give everything they can. Here you see him coming out. He got down just at the last second, otherwise that ball would have slipped between his legs.
Back to live action we go. New England trying to launch an attack, and Peter Baralich, number 15, in the middle of things, intercepting. Feeds on the right wing to Arsène Auguste. He is the Haitian player who's a veteran around the league and a pretty crafty one at that. Slide tackled on the play by number 5, George Lamptey. So they go back over to the Tampa Bay zone. Steve Wegerle in the middle of things, number 7. Off on the right wing. Missed header defensively by Lamptey. And back up to midfield, Baralich.
One of the problems the team men have tonight is they're going to have to work very, very hard on defense. They're going to have to come back much more quickly. They're going to have to get behind the ball. And that's what I mean, that sort of thing. You see there, wonderful ball movement there. 2 or 3 quick passes, and the initial passer just went through on a sheer burst of speed. And if you're a defensive player, you just simply got to cover up those kinds of things very quickly.
Wegerle and Baralich, who tried to go 1-on-1, did so beautifully until a nice play defensively by number 5 for New England. George Lamptey broke it up. Lamptey guilty for the New England teamman of tossing that elbow, so there'll be a free kick here for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. As you see the score, 1-0 Rowdies on a goal by number 9, Peter Anderson. Quick inbounds to John Gorman. There's Gorman over on the left wing now. They have Baralich and Wegerle both inside the box, fed over on the right side, and Wegerle comes out to chase, but on the ball first is a New England teamman, Brian Alderson. Alderson coming the other way. Off on his left is Garrett Moen. Alderson takes the shot, and it is deflected by Ivanchikov, goes over the board inadvertently, so it'll be just a quick kick in. That is Ivanchikov, number 18 on your screen for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Foul will be called against Tampa Bay.
New England, they're having trouble getting some subs in. I don't know why they don't do it right now, but they really have yet to substitute, and the game is 3.5 minutes old. That's usually a bit too far.
Behind the ball, Alderson kicks off to the right side. Moen has it on his foot. They try to slam off the board. Tampa Bay intercepts. The Rowdies come the other way.
Good set play there by New England. The initial shot looked like a tough grounder, but it went right into Moen's feet, and he trapped the ball very well and played it off the wall for Welsh, but it just wasn't
Good
strong.
ball from McLeod to Gorman. Gorman across the goal mouth on the near side now to Ivanchikov, and now to McLeod. Tampa Bay does have good set patterns. That was a good play there on the part of Lamptey to break that one up defensively, but it doesn't stop Tampa Bay. Banged off the boards and almost a carom by McLeod as it was served by Wegerle. And we have a push foul against number 18, Sanjay Ivanchikov.
Well, Kevin Welsh, a little bit lucky to get away with that one. I think he did slam into Ivanchikov after Ivanchikov stole the ball initially, so but a bit of a break there for New England, who really need just about every break they can have. You can see that they really are. There you see now he comes back, and you see him pushing off there. whereas Ivanchikov really did have legitimate position on that play.
Back to the live action. Passed up in the right corner. Taken by number 9, Garnett Moen, but warded off the ball. And the Tampa Bay Rowdies with possession. Under 10.5 minutes to go. First period. 1-0 Tampa Bay. An attack coming from the left wing. That's Connell right out front. Moving over is Anderson, who got the first goal of the game. Looking for another one. And then picked up by 17 John Lignos for the New England team-in. Lead pass, shot on goal, tried by number 18 Dale Peterson and blocked by Jelko Bilecki.
Now New England doing a little bit better getting some players back. There you see they had 4 players back. Prior to that, they were really struggling in the counterattack. They were not getting enough players back behind the ball.
There's Gorman, number 3, passing to his left. Mike Connell at the red line. Anderson, who had the goal, to Gorman. Good give and go, but just a little bit too much of a lead pass. Tiemann on the intercept.
Well, Anderson, I think, took it away from McLeod. McLeod had a great chance just to tuck it in. Anderson went for the ball himself.
Juan Cano Peterson trying to get the long rebound, but there for Tampa Bay is John Gorman, number 3, coming the other way. The 1-0 game. There's a shot on goal, missing wide to the right by Peter Barelich.
Wow, on the rebound slammed in by Anderson, but keeper just got his, Wasmuth just got a finger on it, touched it onto the crossbar.
Yeah, I said it was Peterson who was trying for that rebound shot. Actually, it was number 19, Steve Reed. Peterson is 18, Reed 19. Now there's the attack with number 13, Dennis Witt, who incidentally played for the Tampa Bay Rowdies in 1977 and was very popular here, and now is a member of the New England team-in squad.
Dennis is a very popular guy, period. He's really one of the most, just the most gentlemanly young man you want to meet. He's a tough, hard competitor, but he's a very fine human being, and it doesn't surprise me that any fan would be much impressed by his character.
Well, you saw he was in the middle of that play right around midfield, and New England succeeding in getting the ball. They push it down. Ball banged off, and there's Bilecki, has a little trouble handling, and then kicks off to the near side where Tampa Bay will try to counterattack. With a 1-0 lead, here is Qureshi on the move. Working give and go in the right corner. On the turn, trying to set things up, number 4. And right out front, it is Qureshi who loses possession over at the far board, but Tampa Bay hanging on. Rowdies with that 1-0 lead. Barelich, who scored 2 goals the first time we saw him last week here on ESPN, and his team's 6-2 win over Atlanta. Ball off the board, and then they go for the rebound shot and kick it up into the seats. Goal kick now for Tampa Bay.
You know, the one thing that also New England can hope for is that, in fact, Tampa will be lured into overplaying the ball. Now, you saw Qureshi at the other end that time fiddle around with the ball when he had a chance to punch it in. And if they do that sort of thing, they start to play about with it, then they will expose themselves to the kind of hustle and hard play that New England can come up with.
Big rush coming on, but it is pushed down by number 9, Peter Anderson, as he tried to return the pass, and the goalkeeper, Wasmuth, was there. Counterattack now by the team-in. Ball is laid off the board by Lamptey, but no one there to follow up for the team-in. Auguste takes it back. This is Barelich. Leading scorer in the division. Has 7 goals. And to go with that, 5 assists, 19 points. Jelko Bilecki, the goalkeeper for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, is also the leading goalkeeper in the division. And indeed, Tampa Bay, the leading team in the division, with a 3-1 record right now. This will be a free kick now for the New England team-in, and you watch the substitutes come in. Let's get another look at that bit of action.
Arsene Auguste, they're both, along with Barelich, obstructing Reed as he tried to go through.
Indirect. Ball slammed to the top of the box, and Tampa Bay gets the carom.
New England very direct, Lou, in their play. Nothing fancy, just do the obvious things and do them well. No particular cleverness or unusual tactics. They just don't have the players do that sort of things. They have to do the simple things well.
Long ball down in the corner. Doug Wark, number 13, and he's crashed into the board, and we're going to get a 2-minute penalty, I believe.
No, I don't think he's called the 2 minutes. The foul was on Matus, who really took down the player without much, McLeod, I guess it was, without much doubt. And here you see the foul. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was number 13, Wark.
Okay, back to live action. No foul, and the teams remain at equal strength. Remember, in this game, like hockey, they will send players to the penalty box if the referee feels that any of the violations is severe enough, or in the case of intentional delay of game, where the other team is attacking and the defensive team deliberately kicks it out of the perimeter of the field, then they'll have a 2-minute penalty. So far we've had none. We've had one score in the game, Tampa Bay's, and the Rowdies lead it 1-0. So far all of the action has been directed pretty much at the goalkeeper for the New England team, and Mr. Wasmuth. Patrick Wasmuth has been under heavy fire from this very talented Rowdy squad. Arsène Auguste with a tackle and an attempt at a slide tackle also tripped.
Yes, but what a good piece of work by Peterson, a very young player, an American kid who looks at Auguste and says, very well, I'm going to take you on, and tries to go by him. That's the kind of thing you like to see young American players doing.
Back live slammed off the board right to Tampa Bay as 13. Witt was trying to connect off the backboard. Ball loose to chase on. Remember now, there's no offside in this game as there is in the outdoor game, and that was a good indication of what can happen. And the ball goes over. That's going to be a corner kick as number 6, Mike Connell, came in.
Dennis Witt giving a bit of a suicide pass there back to his goalkeeper. Oh, here's a great chance. Oh, you see him giving that ball back there, and really Lamppost had to go down and hurl himself at the feet of the Tampa player, and luckily nothing came of it.
Back live, the Rowdies unable to cash in on a corner kick. Long lead ball down in the corner. Doug Wark, number 13, Scottish player who now is from the United States. Ball loose out front, and Wasmuth struggling for it in the goal. Wark is also there, but the teammen take it away as number 11, Welch, comes back with it.
That's what I mean now by squandering chances. You really can't do that sort of thing. You've got to put some of these things away, because if you start to fiddle around, your game goes, your concentration goes, and the hustling team will get back into the game.
That was Juan Cano, number 16, who took the last shot for New England. 5 minutes remaining in the first period of play. 1-0 game, Rowdies on top. Anderson with a goal. Ball loose, Wasmuth there to smother it as the ball is banged again off that backboard. That's the bread and butter play in this indoor soccer game, to try to cash in on the carom. Lead ball for Peterson on the left side. He bangs it. It's out front.
Oh, good chance there. Unfortunately, the players had gone deep. That's one of the tough things that you talk about the carom, but you have to anticipate the pace with which it comes off, and sometimes you can go too far forward or stay too far back waiting for that carom.
Good move, Barelich to Wegerle at midfield. Wegerle hounded on the play by Peterson. And over on the New England half of the field, number 7, Carlos Mendez, kicks it over, so it's going to be a kick in and a quick one for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Ball up at the top of the circle now. Ivanchikov, number 18, for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Off to 6, Connell, and back to Ivanchikov. Gorman battling for possession for the Rowdies in the right corner, trying to set something up. Good give and go right out front. Wasmuth is there, and Barelich had a golden opportunity.
Once again, Barelich tried to beat the goalkeeper when he's standing in front, and really all he had to do was to put his foot on the ball and just stick it in the corner. But he tried to make it, the 110% perfect goal instead of just taking the chance and scoring. That's about the fifth, well, certainly the fourth chance now that Tampa's had to score an easy goal, and they've not come away with one.
Oftentimes, those missed opportunities come back to haunt you, too. But right now, the Rowdies still in the lead, 1-0. About 3.5 minutes to go in the first period.
Well, indoors, of course, chances do come fast and furiously. So, in a sense, maybe you can't squander too many chances. But they really are allowing their game to. They can't allow their game to generate a bit.
That's Welch, and it got part of the foot of Ivanchikov, and so it was an easy play for Bilecki in goal. The time of the goal by Anderson with an assist by McLeod in the first period was 1:06. The teammen, good push on there by the Tampa Bay Rowdies' Mike Connell as he shoved into number 7, Carlos Mendez.
And I think he's drawn a 2-minute penalty for this. Let's see. The referee seems to be coming over. You see Connell just plowing into Mendez, and the referee is coming over here.
Yeah, indeed, we're going to get our first penalty of the game as Connell, number 6, is whistled off by referee Guy Frature. Guy Frature is the referee. Sam Hamich is the reserve referee. All right, so for a 2-minute penalty, they get that power play opportunity to come back and try to knot this game. And, of course, the Rowdies will try to squander away that 2 minutes so as not to let those teammen to get back into the tie. The Timon get back into the tee. It's a 1-0 game. Rowdies leading, but right now they're shorthanded. And let's watch and see whether the Teeman can cash in on this power play opportunity. Up in the Rowdy zone, banged off the board. Ball was intended for Peterson coming in. But the Rowdies trying to launch a counterattack. That's not going to work, and they only have 2 men back on defense. Quick rush by the team, and shot deflected by Bilecki, and that was a strong shot by Juan Cano. Another shot. Bilecki has the ball and going for the header underneath and crashing into the goalkeeper. I think we're going to get a 2-minute penalty here against New England.
Yes, it's against number 18, I think. Dale Peterson. He went high up in the air to challenge Bilecki. You see, Bilecki has his back to him, and in comes Peterson in the back. Really, Peterson got up very high there. Give him credit for that jump. But he really did plow into the goalkeeper and crashed him into that back wall, which is supposed to, referee's got to penalize that because that's really very, very dangerous.
Well, he tried to get onto the header, but in so doing, he crashed into Bilecki, and you see the result. Bilecki shaken up a bit. So in the penalty box, there you see the 2 players in. 6 for Tampa Bay is Connell. Number 18 for the New England team in is Dale Peterson. And now there's 1:14 remaining in the Connell penalty, and 1:56 now remains in the other penalty to Dale Peterson. Teams are at equal strength
tough
for a while.
Yeah, that's tough. You know, as in hockey, you get a penalty or a man up. The worst thing you want to do is give them the advantage back, or at least make things neutralize one more time. And that's unfortunately for New England what they've gone and done, because it really was an unnecessary foul.
And that guy, Leo Ramos, committed that foul, so it's a free kick for the Tampa Bay Rowdies with that 1-goal lead and 2 minutes roughly remaining in the first quarter. Connell's penalty now has 55 seconds in it, and about 1.5 minutes remaining in the Dale Peterson penalty. Both teams playing 5 aside right now, of course, counting the goalkeeper. Alderson 15. Shot off the body, Farouk Qureshi, and Bilecki pushes it out to Barilich. Barilich, long ball intended for Auguste, picked off by Alderson of the New England teammen. About 30 seconds remaining in Connell's penalty now. 1.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Teeman up with a rush. Try to go right side. Carlos Mendez warded off the ball, and Auguste kicks it back to goal.
Mendez did a nice thing there. He took some players on in the middle of the defense, causing Tampa Bay to collapse in the middle and allowing 2 players going down the wings to suddenly become open. But he just wasn't able to flick that ball out to the right. Again, another evidence of the very direct play that New England has to resort to, because really that has to be their style given the players that they have now.
O'Connell will be coming out of that penalty box in just 3 seconds now, so Tampa Bay will still have almost 40 seconds of a power play opportunity. There's Connell stepping back on. Now 37 seconds remaining as Alderson rushes up and drills that one out of the ballpark.
Listen, that's a typical Brian Alderson shot. He scored some tremendous goals in the North American Soccer League. 1 goal 2 years ago, he scored against the Cosmos. Really drew lots of gas in Giant Stadium. Look how fast that ball went over the net. It was over the net before Bilecki had his hands up.
Back live, and 22 seconds left in the power play opportunity for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Alderson, though, comes back with just 15 seconds now remaining in Peterson's penalty, and 32 seconds remaining in the period. Feed out front, trying to move right and set it up was Carlos Mendez. Good bit of defense there by Tampa Bay, and they have killed off the penalty. Here comes Peterson out of the box. And just 16 seconds left. Qureshi bangs it off the board, and coming in to try to cash in on the rebound was another Tampa Bay attacker, unable to do so. Coming all the way back now, Peterson the other way. And I think that was Vanderveen who had the rebound attempt, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, but again, another good chance gone a begging for Tampa Bay. It's really amazing how many chances there have been to score. This game is really only 1-0. New England's got to be very happy, though. They only have 6 seconds now in which to get a shot off.
All right, they will line it up. 15 Alderson out to the right, blocked by the body of Peter Anderson with 1 second to go in the period. He does get a shot off at the buzzer.
First period ends, and the Rowdies lead it 1-0.
And that's the end of the first period of play here at the Bayfront Center Arena in St. Petersburg, Florida. And the score, the Tampa Bay Rowdies lead the New England team in 1-0. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a moment. Anytime on Christmas Eve or anytime at all. One of the Wowdies, the official lady mascots here of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Quick recap on that first period. 1 goal, it was by number 9 Peter Anderson for Tampa, assisted by Wes McLeod. Just 1 minute 6 seconds into action in that first period. There were 2 penalties, one against Tampa, Mike Connell, and Peterson, number 18, Dale Peterson, for the New England team. How'd you see that first period, Seamus?
Well, it looked in the first 3, 4, 5 minutes of the game that, in fact, there's Gordon Jago, you see, a very popular man down here, a very comfortable man, now having an extra 4 years on his contract. It looked as though New England was just going to get blown away. They were very slow covering defenders. The fast break for Tampa was working very well, but then gradually New England started to establish themselves. They did give away the early goal, but they got back into the game, and they got some breaks because of over-finishing by Tampa Bay and just trying that extra pass, and now they're still very much in it.
Under the rules of NASL indoor soccer, the visiting team gets the kickoff on the first and third quarters, and the home team in the second and fourth period. So the Tampa Bay Rowdies will have the kickoff here for the start of the second quarter and a 1-0 lead. Really is a completely different game if you are totally uninitiated to the indoor style. After watching outdoor soccer, you'll notice the many rules changes, and yet we think it is a very, very exciting game, a wide open game, and it is going over very, very well, particularly here in Tampa Bay, and of course our last stop for ESPN, Memphis, where they drew about 8,000. They have about a 6,000 capacity here, and it's pretty close to capacity tonight. Shots in that first period, New England actually outshot them 11-9. I'm surprised to see that, Seamus. Shot on goal off to the near side by Witt. New England keeps the pressure on, trailing by a goal. That is banged high off the board.
Oh, yes, it is a little surprising they had that edge, but they really did get some good long-range shots off, and they did get a few shots off in the penalties, in the penalty they had too.
All right, trying to make the turn, number 9, Garnett Moan. Picked up by 17, Lignos, to the right of the goalkeeper, Bilecki. They set up just the same kind of attack as a basketball team would, kind of a pivot man, the 2 guards, the 2 forwards. Kind of interesting to watch. Actually, not 5 players aligned exactly like you would in basketball, but pretty close. Resembles basketball, resembles hockey. It's a great game, it really is. Just underway, just into the second period. Tampa Bay leading 1-0, now trying to organize its offense. 8 and 9, McLeod and Anderson working together. This is Gorman, number 3. Over to McLeod. McLeod shot, and that went through the leg of number 13, Dennis Witt, and right there to handle it was Wasmuth in goal.
Dennis has got to mark McLeod very closely, and he did. Now you see him, he's very close. He's really cut off the angle, but the ball goes through him, and luckily enough, the keeper sees it, gets enough of a look at it that he's able to do something about it.
We're back to live now. 17, John Lignos on the ball for the New England teamen. Here comes an attack by the teamen. You see the man-to-man marking. Moen taken away by Ivanchikov, number 18. And this is Peter Baralich. Give and go intended for Baralich, headed away on the defense by New England, but right back onto the foot of Anderson. He had the 1 goal in the game. Ivanchikov in the right corner for Tampa Bay. Out front, shot by Anderson, over the goal, goal kick.
Moan, number 9, a tall Canadian player with New England, is really putting them under a little bit of pressure by a couple of really bad passes by letting the ball drop short. Now in the middle of the field. Here's Ivanchikov, puts a nice soft ball across to Anderson. He just swings all the way around and knocks it way up into section 15 up there.
Back to the live action with 12:40 remaining in the second period. A run by the New England teamen trying to get even in this game. Turn, shot, deflected by Bilecki nicely as that ball was really drilled by this
Dennis
young
Witt.
fellow you're looking at, Dennis Witt. Serve cross the field. Witt again winds up with it on the near side. Off the backboard to Moen, and Moen off Bilecki's chest. Bilecki getting a workout here in this second period. And a momentary timeout. Baralich is shaken up on the play.
Baralich was the one who was trying to get position on Moen up there at the crease in the first the initial attack, and then when the ball was loose, Baralich went after it, and Moen went after Baralich and knocked him into the wall. And you see Baralich slammed his hand into the wire part of the fencing there, but I don't think it's cut.
Baralich is a Yugoslav citizen. That is a foul called. A 3-zone pass. Okay, it went from that first red line all the way across to the second red line. It is a 3-line pass and comes back to the original red line, or in other words, in Tampa Bay territory. And a foul for jumping in on number 5, George Lamptey, who went over the top.
That's a tough call. George did very well, in fact, to get up and over Anderson for that. It looks like that might have been compensation for another foul by the ref. I don't know. It looked very questionable.
Good move, Baralich, and a good save by Wasmuth. duck that shot. Wasmuth, I must say, has done pretty well in goal.
He's gotten his hands in front of most things. He's really looked quite strong. He's a very big guy, of course.
John Lignos, number 17, chases the ball. Now Lamptey, number 5 for the New England team. And a little collision there between Barelich and Welch. Barelich going over to pick up Kevin Welch. Foul will be called for blocking there on Barelich, and we'll see it again.
Yes, Welch tries to hook the ball back, and Barelich just slams into him, and Welch goes down. Gives a little extra on the Oscar business there, but...
it won him an Oscar.
Funny, we don't have a drama department at Harvard.
All right, these are the teamen. These two teams will meet again in Providence, Rhode Island in 2 days, about 10 days.
Nice 1-2 pass there between Welch and Lignos that resulted in a fine shot by Lignos that the keeper, in fact, never saw. Bilecki never even saw. And it just caromed off his right, and luckily there's nobody there to put it in.
Here goes Barelich down in the corner now for Tampa Bay, looking for his 8th goal of this indoor season. That's Qureshi, number 16, back to Barelich. Good steal by John Lignos. Ball up for grabs. And what are they going to call here?
Dangerous play in Qureshi. When Lignos was rising to head that ball, Qureshi came in behind him with the high foot, and referee called it.
Quick free kick now for the New England team, and they come over on to the Tampa Bay half. Trailing 1-0, 10 minutes, 43 seconds to go in the second quarter. Attempt at a give and go, and Welch for Alderson. Nobody there.
But Barelich blocked Anderson out, in fact, on the give and go, and the referee didn't see it.
That's Barelich. Oh, dangerous, as he tried to lead to a cutter from the corner, Anderson, but Wasmuth was there first. Teeman downfield, one-on-one shot. Oh, Bilecki there for the save, and then the follow is kicked out of the auditorium by Welch.
If it's possible to kick it out of an indoor auditorium, I think Welch almost did it that time. Good follow-up, but there's a good save by Bilecki. Brian Alderson will think about that when he had a great chance, and there you see the follow-through by Welch. Just got way over it when he just needed to hammer it in with a bit more poise than that.
Bilecki, 60 saves through his first 4 games. He allowed 14 goals. Goals against average of 3.62 coming in. That's the best in the division. And the best in the league is a man that we saw in our last ESPN telecast, John Huska from the Memphis Rogues, with a 2.72 goals against average. Shot by Alderson, not good, and Welch after it, but he won't get it. And a foul going to be whistled up here against the Teeman as Tampa Bay had the ball. Number 3, Gorman, trying to go downfield, and he was crashed into.
By Matus. So the referee calling that one pretty tightly, I think very wisely, because boarding is really quite dangerous to players' health, and they've really got to call those things early.
Dangerous to all living things.
Well, that's the one thing about the game that's worrisome. You can get checked into these boards very hard, and the referees have all been instructed to clamp down on that very, very much so right in the beginning.
Here come the Teeman, but from behind, McLeod with a steal, taking it right away from Carlos Mendez. Tampa Bay on defense.
This is the Galloping Gorman.
John Gorman, number 3. They call him the Galloping Gorman here. Got a nickname for everybody. Qureshi is referred to as the Marrakesh Express. 13 is Walk. A steal from behind by Leo Ramos, number 6 for the Teeman. On the foot of Mendez and stolen by McLeod. You see how quickly possession changes in this indoor soccer game.
One of the surprising things so far is this man on the ball right now, Vanderbeek, has really, Vander Veen rather, has really not come into the game very much at all. In the game we saw against Atlanta, he was really dominating all over the place. Today, he's really not shown us, or this evening, he's not shown us much at all.
And he is their second high scorer with 6 goals, 2 assists, and 14 points. And that one prior appearance against Atlanta, he certainly did play a great game. Tampa Bay in the white tries to move from right to left on your screen with that 1-goal lead. And New England doing a great job of forechecking right now. McLeod, give and go pass on the side, drilled from the right side, and a good save once again by Wasmuth. And that was Mr. Vander Veen. He really hit that one pretty well. There's Mendez drilling one, and Bilecki's in front of it. Second shot, Alderson, and Bilecki's there. And here's Barelich trying to come the other way.
Well, New England's certainly getting some shots, some very good shots. Unfortunately, they seem to be hammering them right at Bilecki. They're not getting much angle in their shots, but they're not afraid to let it go.
I guess the tendency, more often than not in the indoor game, is to drill them by the goalkeeper because you really don't have much room. It's only, what, 12 feet wide?
Here's a 2-on-1 break. Oh, look out.
Wark, number 13, Wasmuth, cut his angle down and deflected it. Good job by Wasmuth. 7.5 minutes to go in the period. Now the Rowdies apply the pressure. Barelich down the middle, 3-on-2, and Barelich catches the corner with the goal.
Well, Barelich was just given far too much room. Kevin Welsh has been man-marking him all over the place. He just got away from him, and we talked about this at the top of the show. See all that space? He has a lot of space, and he finally gets a shot off and buries it in the corner. You just cannot give a player like Barelich space. We talked about this at the very beginning about how they will try to mark him tightly, but he's a good enough player that eventually he will shake his defense, and he did.
Gorman gets an assist, and Barelich gets his 8th goal of the season. He's 5'10", 175 from Pravarica, Yugoslavia. His 2nd year with the Rowdies and in the NASL. And, of course, played for many, many fine European sides. We're going to get a 2-minute penalty call here.
That's right.
2-minute penalty call against the New England teaman.
Leo Ramos was guilty of boarding there. Again, a very unnecessary foul.
There he is down in the lower part of your screen. Number 6 will watch the call.
Yeah, there you see, there's really no need for that. And that's very dangerous and it's got to be whistled up right away. Good decision.
And there's Ramos in the penalty box. So a 2-minute power play opportunity now for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Just when New England seemed to have some momentum to come back and possibly tie the game. Barelich gets a goal, and now they can possibly get another here on the power play opportunity. With number 6, Leo Ramos, off the field. Van der Veen to Gorman. Gorman shot, deflected in. It actually went off the foot of number 5, George Lamptey.
Right.
So it may be an own goal, or it may be credited to Gorman. Let's wait and see.
Well, that's, again, a very tough break for New England. New England's really shown an awful lot of heart here. They came into the game, they were out shooting everybody. But there's the shot. Now watch it deflects, I think it went off 2 players. Went on to Lamptey, off, I think, Lignos.
All right, they give credit to Gorman on the goal. And it's the 3rd of the game for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Puts them up top 3-0. And, of course, the goal on the power play opportunity releases from the penalty box number 6, Leo Ramos. So the teams are back at equal strength. Just under 7 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Rowdies looking for more, but a steal from behind by John Lignos. Dennis Witt feeds the right corner, and it goes over the wall. And there it is, Tampa Bay 3-0 and 2 lightning fast goals. One by Barelich, one by Gorman on a power play. Rowdies up top by 3 goals.
Of course, in this game, in this league, that's not necessarily an insurmountable lead. And outdoors, of course, that just about wraps up the game.
Yep, in the indoor game, it just means you lead by 3 goals, is all it means. Gorman's 2nd goal of the season to go with 1 assist, and that one that he scored here was unassisted. Nice movement there by Arsène Auguste. New England takes it back, though. Teeman still looking for their 1st goal. Turning his Moen over to Witt, 13. Barelich heckling him. Witt holds onto it, brings it down. Auguste almost a steal, but Lignos is there. This is Reed, number 19. Kicks it off the leg of Barelich. Out of bounds. It'll be a kick in now.
Did you notice that?
Teeman kick in. Right side, there's the rebound, and almost onto the foot of Moen.
Well, it was onto his foot. It was on his left foot, and he just stabbed at it and hit it wide again. And he had a chance really to put it in with his right foot, but it came off too fast for him. Another boarding call.
Yeah, here comes another boarding call, I believe, but not a 2-minute penalty, apparently.
It's Lamptey coming in very hard from behind. There you see, again onto Wark. Wasn't as violent because Wark protected himself by putting his hands up so he didn't crash into the boards with quite so much force. But again, the referee standing nothing of that at all and blowing it up right away.
Back live, the Teeman try to get back in this game in the 2nd period. 5:20 remaining in it. Down 3-0 now. That's Reed, 19, to Lignos, now to Lamptey. Reed on the right side. They've got Moen there looking for a rebound, but they couldn't get it to him.
Mike Connell comes up with it.
Connell, number 6, right side from McLeod. Bit of fancy footing, and Lamptey with a good defense for the teamen.
That's the difference between boarding and just putting a legitimate shoulder to a player as you're both going for the ball.
Reed, give and go. Reed takes it to the center. Challenge, nice play. Very nice play by Wegerle, number 7. With McLeod, this is Wegerle. Centers. Shot, banged off the board. Good setup on the play, and McLeod just missed.
Cleared by Legnos.
Teeman back 2-on-2. Ivanchikov almost to steal Alderson, and saved by Bilecki. Loose ball.
Oh,
Nice
my
clear
goodness.
out.
The referee didn't see that, but Bilecki pulled down Moan by the legs in the penalty area. It should have been a penalty kick.
Yeah, that really hurt. It really hurt the New England team in comeback effort, and now we are going to get a whistle and a trip call.
There's the shot. You see the save now. Watch the arm. Look at that. That's hard to miss that. I'm sorry, but it really is hard to miss that. That's a very blatant tackle.
That just looked like a lineman spearing a back trying to go out of his own backfield. Alderson now, blocked by Ivanchikov. On the official times on the goals, when play slows down here, we'll fill you in on those. That's Moan trying to pin it against the board. Bilecki also trying to get there. Barelich, his goal came at 7:35 in the second and was assisted by Van der Veen. And the third goal of the game and second of the period for the Rowdies was by Gorman unassisted at 7:56. Okay, at midfield, number 15 back for the New England team, and is Brian Alderson. Shot off the back.
Clears and is picked up by New England.
Number 16 coming back for the team, and it's Juan Cano. They have made some substitutions.
Legnos tries to hit it.
Ball comes all the way back to the red line, and look where the goalkeeper, Wasmuth, came all the way out to the red line to try to keep the team up there. It looks like they're playing a power play, but the teams are at equal strength. Look at where that goalkeeper is.
Alderson tries it. It comes off.
There's Zalecki on. All right, now you'll watch Wasmuth retreat.
There's again the difference in the carry when the ball comes off the mesh, the wire mesh at the back. It really comes back with very little force. When it comes off the wood, it comes really quite strongly. So you've really got to anticipate exactly what's going to happen if you're a center forward.
Wegerle, this is McLeod. He is tripped on the play, and a foul is going to be called against the teammen. Oh, we'll get a free kick. That was Peterson on the trip.
Yeah, Peterson coming in. He's beaten by McLeod and just reaches around the leg and cuts him down.
Back live now, Arsene Auguste after the ball for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Alderson on a run, but he's all alone, waiting for some help now. He gets Peterson up to the left wing. Beats behind him. Number 2, Helder Matus. Young man from Portugal. Feeds on the right wing, but Rowdies are all over the ball. And they take it back. McLeod up to Qureshi. 2 minutes, 13 seconds to go. Second quarter, a 3-0 indoor soccer match. Tampa Bay leads. Tom Maurer, number 19 in the game for the first time, had the ball taken away from him. These are the teammen coming back.
Souvenirs and novelties are on sale tonight at Souvenir Foods.
Good foot race there as Cano lays it out front. Defense kicking back to Bilecki. Fast break attack. Here's Maurer. Maurer tries to steer, and a very nice slide tackle on the play by John Lignos.
Very good player. Lignos, very good play by Lignos. You know, he was a player who played for six times for New England in the outdoor season. He was an American brought up. Well timed, you see. He almost gets beaten on the inside, but he cut back with his right leg and made the block instead of being really out of it. Sometimes when you go to ground like that, when you slide, you really overcommit yourself, and if a player is clever, can pull the ball away from where you're sliding, but Lignos was able to make a quick change and scoop it away.
Team and ball, 1.5 minutes remaining in the first half. It is the Rowdies by 3 goals, 3-0. Foul whistled up again against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. And then it is kicked up into the audience, and he's going to get a little bit of a warning here, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it was intentional. I think he meant to kick it. He just kicked too hard. But as I was saying about Lignos, he's good. He was drafted number 1 by New England last year. Good American player.
Alderson's shot is blocked in the box defensively by the Tampa Bay Rowdies, John Gorman. Tampa Bay serving along the near board. Wasmuth is way out of goal. There's Qureshi. Puts it up ahead to Anderson, who got the first goal of the game. There's Qureshi lining it up off the defense. Quick break. Here's Moan one-on-one. Oh, good play. Galecki cut it down. And leg save. Very courageous move.
Excellent play by Bilecki, showing that as a goalkeeper you have to be able to use the other skills in the game and not just your hands.
Under a minute. Pinned against the boards and then kicked back to goal by the T-man. Clock says 43 seconds remaining in the half.
Good,
Oh,
good tackle. Nice shot there in the replay.
Kicked it with the left leg, as you saw. Shot on goal attempted by Kevin Welch. And they have gotten nothing by Bilecki tonight. 27 seconds remains in the first half. Anderson back. Give and go. Intercepted. Carlos Mendez. Shot barrel edge. Blocked by the body of Leo Ramos. 10 seconds remaining in the half. There's your story. T-man trying one more attack here. With 3 seconds to go in the period. There's a quick shot on goal. Misses to the left, but he got one in. Let's see if it counts. No, they say after the buzzer.
Well, that's just typical for New England. They just can't get a break tonight. They played awful hard, and they're getting no breaks at all. There they score a lovely goal, and it was just a split second after the buzzer.
Wow. Carlos Mendez, number 7, drilled it into the net. And as we looked up, time had run out. So let's see if we can take one more look at the shot attempt. Ball loose.
There's the original shot. And the carom comes out, and there's the rebound. It's into the net. A good goal, really a nice goal from the typical carom play that you talk about. But I think the referee was right, quite frankly. I did hear the buzzer go off as the ball was on its way towards the net. I don't think the ball got over the line before that buzzer.
So time runs out in the first half with the score. Tampa Bay Rowdies 3, the New England T-man nothing. We'll be back with the halftime activity right after this message. Well, your halftime score, the Rowdies 3-0, and the goals by Peter Anderson, John Gorman, and Peter Barrelich. And the New England T-man just can't catch a break, Seamus. They came back nicely and just couldn't even beat the buzzer to get that one goal in the first half.
No, and let's not fall into feeling too much sympathy for them. This is one heck of a good Tampa team, and credit should go to them for the way they've played also. I mean, they've had a lot of chances they've missed, but nonetheless they've taken a couple of good chances and have looked very nice in the middle of the field at some of the times. But you really can't help but feel a bit sorry for New England, because here they are with a very depleted squad. They've recruited players from local leagues in the New Bedford area, good players, but really not NASL caliber players, and yet they're giving it everything they can out there, and just nothing will go right for them. Penalties coming at the wrong time. Even when they get a penalty, they commit one themselves, and then the goal going in was the last straw.
Well, we're looking at a group called the Spartones, a choral group right here in the St. Petersburg, Tampa Bay area, performing some Christmas music for the fans assembled at Bayfront Center Arena in St. Petersburg, Florida. And on a day in which it topped off at about 80 degrees in St. Petersburg, Florida, they're going to bring us some of that Christmas spirit. Let's listen in. fine performance for the crowd here in St. Petersburg, Florida by the Spartones Choral Group, and our halftime score again, the Tampa Bay Rowdies leading the New England team in 3-0. And a very, very happy holiday season to all of us and to all of you from ESPN. We'll be back with more action here at Bayfront. Well, there's some of the lovely scenery here at Bayfront Center Arena in St. Petersburg, Florida. Very happy holiday season to all of you from all of us at ESPN. Our score at halftime, the Tampa Bay Rowdies on top 3-0. They got their first goal just 66 seconds into action. Then it was pretty much a standoff for the rest of that first period. It was 1-0. Then they got 2 goals in the second period within about 15 seconds. And so right now at halftime, the score reads 3-0. And I'm Lou Palmer along with Seamus Mallon. We'll be getting start for the our start for the second half momentarily. Seamus, New England actually outshot the Tampa Bay team in that first period, 34-18. I can't believe it.
Yes, 34-18 in the first half. That's right. That's pretty remarkable, really. But they were taking those long-range shots, and of course, I think they count those shots that carry them off the backboards, not just shots that are saved by the goalkeeper.
Okay, and the Rowdies and the New England teammen will be back for the start of the second half, and we'll be here to cover it on ESPN right after these words.
America, meet Grinnell, Iowa. In 1975, highway deaths in America were down by over 9,000 from 1973. And more than anything else, it was the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit that made the difference. By slowing down, we helped save more than 9,000 people, the equivalent of every man, woman, and child in Grinnell, Iowa, and then some. 55 miles an hour. It's a law we can live with.
Rapture and hit it into the goal with the inside of his right foot, thrusting it away from him. There's the initial shot. Now you see the ball come out on the carom. Watch him hook it back with his right foot. Now it flips back, and he's going to hit it with the outside of his right foot again, back into the corner, into the top of the net. Really a wonderful piece of individual work by Moan, who made really something out of nothing, made the ultimate out of nothing, in fact. And that's really just what New England needs. You consider they had a disallowed goal, maybe 30 seconds ago in play, and now they get it back 30 seconds later.
Really did look like a magic man on that one, and it is now a 3-1 game. The Tampa Bay Rowdies leading the New England teammen. Quick strike by the New England teammen, and then Tampa Bay just almost got that one right back. An attempt at a screen out there by number 11, Kevin Welch, and Welch is going to be whistled up for a foul. It's going to be a free kick
obvious
for Tampa
obstruction,
Bay.
yeah, indirect.
Behind the ball is Vanderveen, number 5. Passes in toward the middle. Shot on goal. Sails over the crossbar by number 16, who is Farouk Qureshi.
Well, that's a classic soccer shot. Those either end up buried in the upper right-hand corner, or they end up buried in the scoreboard somewhere, and that one was closer to the scoreboard.
Here come the teammen. Welch off the backboard before Moan could get in there. Nice play by Auguste, who came in, number 4 on defense for Tampa Bay, to screen out the other attacker. New England really trying to get back into this game. That's Moan. Welch had the shot over to Alderson, right wing, over on the near side. Intercepted by Vanderveen, and Lamptey with a nice play defensively for the New England teammen. Time of the goal was just 22 seconds into this third period. Moan unassisted for the New England teammen. Foul is whistled up against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Crowd feels a little bit of play acting there on the part of Welch. Moan. Goal kick now for Tampa Bay Rowdies.
There you see Welch on the ball, and Anderson does come in and just nudges him away. I don't think it's that violent a foul, but the referee indicated that he thought Anderson was holding a bit, but it didn't seem that way in the replay.
Tampa Bay on the attack now, moving left to right. Vanderveen. Ball is deflected by number 17, John Lignos, for the teammen. Kick in from the near side by the Tampa Bay Rowdies. 13:17 to go, third period. McLeod, number 8. And McLeod never went after the give and go by Anderson. Didn't zig when he should have that time.
And when he lost the ball, he didn't go after it much in the way of recovery, too. It's surprising, really.
Alderson.
That kind of carom doesn't count, I'm afraid.
Now that is outside the field of play. It'll be a goal kick here for Tampa Bay. And some substitutes. We see Barelich coming back in, along with Wegerle. New front line here. New forwards coming in now for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. And we have 13 minutes to go, third period.
A lot of these American players now coming in, too, for the team in.
Here's Qureshi, number 16. Down in the left corner, Wegerle brings it down nicely. Team get in the way of that. Van der Veen is right on it. Wegerle at midfield. Jan Van der Veen. Good ball control here by the Rowdies with that 3-1 lead. Wegerle in the corner from Auguste. And on the rebound is the goalkeeper, Wasmuth.
That was another obviously rehearsed play where Barelich held over on the right here for some time and then made his cut when he saw that the cross from Wegerle was going to come over. And it was played off the wall.
Carlos Mendez, number 7, back for the New England team and places down in the corner, and a shot banged off there by Reed. There's a follow shot, no good.
Oh, good. Again, an intelligent pass work there by Reed, who had a very tough angle for a shot on goal, and of course he just simply caroms it off the board, but Mendez's follow-up shot was weak.
Auguste up to Wegerle, puts it over to Barelich along the far board. Barelich got his 8th goal of the season tonight in the team's 5th game. He is the leading scorer in the division. Gorman off to Van der Veen. Then Gorman goes into the box. Wegerle from the right wing. And it'll be a goal kick and right up against our remote unit. As a matter of fact, our truck that brings you those pretty pictures got slammed with a ball. Well, more indoor soccer coming up. The Atlanta Chiefs take on the Fort Lauderdale Strikers from West Palm Beach, and you will see it on Thursday, December 27th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A full flight of games right on through the month of February here on ESPN. NASL Indoor Soccer, and a very, very exciting game. We hope you're enjoying it.
You know, it's interesting to watch defenders play this Caro now because Tampa really is experienced at that. Notice how many times now New England has hit the ball off the wall, but yet there's been a Tampa Bay player there. They really cover those angles very well. They know the Caroms very well, so they're able to compensate for that disadvantage initially.
Give and go, and a slam shot by Ramos, saved nicely by Bilecki. Bilecki really has played a wonderful game. Fine goalkeeper. Connell, number 6 on the ball, Mike Connell. Up to Gorman. Gorman almost got that by Wasmuth, but he deflected with a left hand. Ramos over in the near board for the team and feeds back to goal. About 10.5 to go here in this third period. 3-1 the score, Tampa Bay. 1 goal in the second half, scored by the team just 22 seconds into it. By number 9, Garnett Moan, a 6'1", 26-year-old, 180-pounder from Canada. Good play by Gorman on the defense for the Rowdies. Now remember, up on that forward line, they now have Connell, number 6. He's the guy who slammed it off the far board, trying to connect with Barelich. Here's Wegerle, straight on, and the ball almost got by Wasmuth.
Wasmuth doesn't go down very much. He just sort of bends over, and of course there's a lot of him to get down there to bend to. He's a pretty tall guy, and I've noticed that space between his legs quite a few times, but it almost hurt him that time.
6'1", 190, 22 years old from South Africa. Let's watch it again.
There's Wegerle's shot, and you see the goalkeeper, Wasmuth, going down now, but you see how spread apart his legs are. You really don't like to see that. A goalkeeper's legs should be much more closer together. He should just simply go down on one knee, or should close up that gap between his legs.
9:45 remaining in the period. Shot by the New England teaman, not right on net, deflected by John Gorman. Anderson and Barelich. Nice play defensively again by the New England club. Ramos there. This is Gorman once again trying to set up the play for the Rowdies. Top of the box. Off the back netting. Teeman come back with a counterattack. Helder Matus is number 2. Portuguese player. Alderson pushed it a little bit too far. Intercepted by Ivanchikov. Pulled up and kept it away from his heckler very nicely.
Peter Anderson.
It's Anderson who got the first goal of the game. Barelich. Oh!
Barlich just given too much space, too much room, allowed to settle over there all by himself. Alderson got caught upfield. He could not come back and cover him. Reed got caught upfield. He could not come back and cover him. And then, of course, he was wide open. Now, watch this nice pass. He's wide open on the far side, but the ball does go between 3 players, and bang, it's in the net just like that.
Well, nobody was marking him. He was all alone from the left side, and that is goal number 9 of the season for Peter Barlich in 5 games, his second of this game, and the Rowdies now have that 3-goal advantage again. 4-1. Tampa Bay in the white, moving from left to right again. In this third period, 8 minutes and 49 seconds to go. Free kick for the Rowdies. Tight man marking, almost a steal there by Helder Mathus. Wes McLeod in pursuit. And another shot by McLeod, and this time Wasmuth is able to hang on.
In the fourth period, Detroit leads Atlanta.
8:26. Shot out front. Oh, Reed almost tucked that one in. There's Ramos on this shot. Over the goal, it'll be a corner kick for New England.
Really, Bilecki has had some fantastic saves at that end, and you really can't help but admire how much attacking play that New England still coming up with. A nice fake there by Ramos, and then a good shot tipped over.
And another dead-on shot, and this one goes by. Ramos does get it back as they quickly get it in on the corner kick and make it a 4-2 game.
Well, I have a lot of admiration for this New England team. They just come out to play. They don't mind. They're losing 4-1, 4-2. They just want to come out and play. And I talked to Welsh about this before the game. And Kevin, what's your attitude? You don't have a strong team and all that sort of thing. He says, look, this is a great chance for us to work at a relatively pressure-free situation. Sure, we want to win, but we also want to develop as individuals and as a team.
28-year-old, 6'2", 175-pound Brazilian Leo Ramos with a goal. Bilecki under severe pressure, pitching out. Van der Veen coming right back for Tampa Bay. It's by Ramos. Back kick. Oh, Auguste wound up. Good block by the Teeman. Could have a breakaway situation there, but tightening up on defense is Qureshi to stop Reed. Barlich's goal was assisted by Anderson here in the third period at 6:05.
Yeah, Barlich was the passer. He saw him wide open and put the ball between 3 defenders very nicely. Barlich just murdered it home.
Uh-oh, here comes a 2-on-1. Alderson pushes it out. Oh, and just on by Peterson.
Oh, it's hard to believe that Peterson missed out, unless Auguste got a toe on it. It didn't look that way from here. But
wow. And the goalkeeper, Wasmuth, for New England, came way out of net. Van der Veen, good play by Ramos on defense. He's all over Van der Veen in that left side, across the far board.
Van der Veen is so strong. He's got that terrific upper body strength as well as those tough thighs.
Here's McLeod. Pushes too far right. Gets the ball back again, though. Headed over by Witt, number 13. Rowdies continue on the offense. Good kick through. Turn. Out front. Loose. Clearing kick. And out of the park, and that may be a delay of game.
No, I don't think the referee will call that, Lou, because it was a desperation clearance, but not really intended to go out of the park. They just wanted to get it out of the goal area. So I think he's not called a penalty there. Here you see Dennis Witt, but look at that nice. Dennis gets duped there by Van der Veen, and look at that wonderful pass between 3 players, but McLeod really makes a mess of it in front when all you have to do is just spin it quickly and tuck it in the corner.
Back to live action we go. 4-2 game, 6 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Third period. New England attacking. Mendez from behind, the steal by Connell. Pitch out Gorman.
Well, Mendez never really had that ball properly. He was dribbling it from behind rather than getting it in front, where he could protect the ball with his body, and having no protection really between the ball and his body. It's pretty easy for O'Connell to come back and take it away from him.
Good lively crowd on hand here in St. Petersburg, Florida, in a holiday mood.
And they got a good lively game too. This is really exciting quarter. This one is wonderful.
Connell, number 6. For the Rowdies, over to Gorman. Checked on the play by Lamptey, and Gorman is called for the pushing.
Good call. Lamptey had gotten good position on him, cut the ball out, so Gorman had no choice but to either go around him or go through him, and he chose to go through him, which not really allowed. Now what you see, Gorman tries to go through the back, and you simply can't do that.
And the foul going, of course, New England's way and against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. So the team in attack here, down 2 goals. Still plenty of time to go, though. They work way out to the point. Shot off the body of number 16, Qureshi. Kicked out over the perimeter wall. It'll be a kick in for the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Brian Alderson is exhausted. He's really working very hard. He just came off. You see him over there at the bench. His head is down. He's really working extremely hard. He's one of the, in fact, he's the only English player from the team and many English players who was here for the winter.
Yeah, they've had even their coach, as a matter of fact. Noel Cantwell is off in England for the holiday period. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. 4-2 game. Tampa Bay leads. New England and Tampa Bay pretty much playing on even terms in this period, however. Lamptey, number 5, pushes ahead for Kevin Welch. Nice slide tackle. Good play by Wegerle.
Steve Wegerle.
Wegerle alone, and Wasmuth with the kick. Wegerle has an open net. Missed to the right.
Boy, a thrill a minute in this game. Really a good cover-up move there by Carlos Mendez. Had the ball covered, but there's never a dull moment in this game. And then it goes down the other end, and Mendez gets the shot off, having made the sliding save on the goal line at one end. He comes down and gets the shot at the other.
Well, I hope you're enjoying it. We certainly are.
Yeah,
it's a great game.
It really is.
Goal kick here for Tampa Bay. Here comes Moen, number 9, who got the first goal of the game and kind of broke the ice for the New England team. And there he is on the ball, too. Pushes it a little bit too far ahead, and the Rowdies have the intercept. Mendez, number 7. John Lignos, 17. They work the right side. Pushing over to the near. Tight quarters. Welch, number 11. Good ball movement here by New England, trying to set something up. Looking for Moen in the corner. Steal by Connell. And he's going to be fouled on the play, and we're going to get a 2-minute call. 2-minute penalty coming up.
No, I think...
Nope, I'll tell you, he holds 2 fingers, and he kind of confuses me. So here we go. Barelich came down on a 1-on-1. He kind of indicates to me, and of course that 2 fingers is supposed to be up in the air to indicate it, but yeah, I thought he had ruled 2 minutes.
Augie takes it away.
Good steal by Augie Auguste. Oh, all alone. Good save by Wasmuth as he took that one off the foot of Peter Anderson.
And Auguste comes up with a remarkable volley from an extreme angle and sends it way up by the scoreboard again. Well, there's Moen coming in this previous play, and he's committed the foul there, and then you see the retaliation by Connell, who has a very short fuse. But the referee, I think, does hold his hand up, but when he wants to signal 2 minutes, he points to the penalty box also, Lou. So
I thought he had done that. Oh, it's swept over, but, well, we'll learn his moves. 3:12 remains in the period. It remains 4-2, and we're told it will be a goal kick. Goal kick for the Rowdies. These are the Rowdies, the home standing squad here at St. Petersburg, Florida. Steal right at midfield. Welch to Moen. Good movement. Bilecki came out, cut his angle down and saved it. Beautiful play. Up ahead, Anderson. Well, he's not afraid to take the chances. He really comes out. Bilecki's fine.
He really has. He's done the job for them. When they were having trouble taking those chances at one end, he really made some key saves that kept them in the game.
That's Anderson to Barelich. Back to Anderson again. Lamptey. He goes down, no call. Lamptey got the ball. Here's Welch on the left wing. Right back to Moen. 4-3.
Oh, picture book goal by Kevin Welch and Moen combining there. Garnett Moen, a wonderful break. I actually, team had a little bit lucky there to get away with the tackle from behind by George Lamptey. Came in very low, and the referee allowed it to go. But then, look at that nice cut by Welch. He cuts off his man, in fact, Vanderveen, and then doesn't hit the ball off the wall, as he's had done in the past, but pushes it right across from Moen, and in it goes. And
what a great play, really. And we'll see that it's a 4-3 game now. Tampa Bay Rowdies over the New England Teamen, and still plenty of time. 2:27 remaining, and this is only the third period. Plenty of action, all you could ask for. You got scoring, you got a little touch of the penalty situation and power play opportunities. One of the goals was a power play by the Tampa Bay Rowdies. These are the Rowdies on the ball right now at the New England red line. Anderson, give and go, intended back to Anderson. Good play by 17 John Lignos for the Teamen.
Well, there was an idea, an example really of how you have to cut down the give and go situation, the 1-2 pass as we call it in soccer. The player who is first passed over has got to cut back and shut off that return lane. If he doesn't, then it's a very easy situation to work in 1 and 2.
McLeod and Anderson to Gorman on the far side. Looking for Van der Veen, but under very, very heavy attack by Dennis Witt. Has to take it back to midfield now for Van der Veen. Gorman in the left corner trying to turn. Good slide tackle by the Teamen, and that results in getting them the ball. The Teamen making a fine comeback here in this third period. Here's Moen, who already has 2 goals tonight. Good kick throw, shot by Witt. Great save by Bilecki. I thought it was even right there, the way Witt was moving in all alone on the right side. There's Witt again, former Rowdy. That's off the body of McLeod. Deep kick downfield, and then back kick by number 6, Leo Ramos. The goal by Moen, assisted by Welch, came at 12:33 of time here in the third period. We're in the final minute of play in the third period, 4-3 now. Rowdies on the lead and with possession. That's going to be a foul call against the Teamen. Leo Ramos pushing from behind. And a free kick. We'll watch it again.
Ramos comes in very hard on Anderson here from the back, and Anderson falls down on the second attempt to tackle by Ramos. But, you know, in a way, Ramos has got to make that tackle. Obviously, he shouldn't foul, but he should make that commitment out there and prevent Anderson from turning on him.
Witt and Moen on the attack. That is Witt with the ball. Slams off the backboard. Moen tried to get on it. Gorman, good job of shielding. Good back kick, and Bilecki there. That was a great play by Moen as he tried to set up a trailing teammate, Juan Cano. Look at this action. Lignos finally winds up with the ball, and they whistle a foul.
No, he's let it go on. And I think rightly so, because the goalkeeper came sliding out, got the ball, and then the Tampa Bay player went over his outstretched body.
So that's the end, and we see these 2 young men, Bilecki and number 16, Qureshi, from the Tampa Bay Rowdies, trying to avoid a situation. And at the end of 3 periods of play, before an almost sellout crowd at Bayfront Center Arena, St. Petersburg, Florida, there's your score. Rowdies by a goal, 4-3. We'll be back for the 4th, and what I think is going to be a very, very exciting quarter in just a moment. Well, as we look at the Rowdy cheerleaders, who are called the Wowdies here in St. Petersburg, and there's your score, 4-3. We're set to go to the 4th final period. And who knows, maybe not final, maybe overtime. This is shaping up as a great contest.
It really is, and you know, there's no question that the Rowdies have the talent. They've been off a bit in their game, and they've been surprisingly rattled a bit. In the last quarter there, a number of times they were caught upfield, which is surprising for them, because you would think that they would be skillful and knowledgeable enough to be able to cope with that kind of tactic, but they really were victimized by fast break attacks by a New England team that just simply won't quit. So I don't imagine, and we could be dead wrong now, because the pace of play may catch up with New England, but I don't imagine that Tampa Bay is going to be able to run away with this one in the quarter.
Well, in that third period, New England outshot Tampa Bay 12-11. There were 7 saves for Bilecki in the Tampa Bay net and 5 for Wasmuth for New England. So it was pretty even in that second period, and just about as even as the score indicates going into the 4th quarter. A 4-3 game, Tampa Bay holding on by a goal and now attacking. Barelich, he's looking for his 3rd goal of the game. Shot blocked by the defense. Auguste back in midfield. Connell now, number 6.
The Rowdies' next home game is Saturday night.
Up ahead, Barelich. Kick from behind, Lamptey.
8 p.m. here at the Bayfront Center. Tickets are available at all Tampa.
There's Barelich trying to connect up. Steele. Mendez. Right side. Peterson. Over to Alderson. Teeman trying to get back in tie this game. Just underway in the fourth and final period. Great game. We hope you're enjoying it here on ESPN. We certainly also hope that you're enjoying this holiday season. Good turn by Peterson. The ball was deflected off the body and easy save for Bilecki. Wasmuth kicks that one all the way down and out of the arena, and that will be a 2-minute penalty. Delay of game. It obviously will not be served by the goalkeeper. It'll be served by a player. We'd like you to know about this hockey tournament from Olympia Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Featured in the tournament, Michigan, Michigan Tech, Michigan State, and Wisconsin. ESPN will be there for all of the games, including first round, consolation, and final games. First round will be seen on Saturday, December 29th at 12 noon p.m. And the second game, first round, will be shown on Saturday the 29th at 6:30 p.m. And, of course, the final game on Sunday the 30th at 9:30 p.m. The Great Lakes Invitational Hockey Tournament here on ESPN. We have a 2-minute penalty being served by number 18, Dale Peterson, for the New England Teeman.
It's a tough call, too. The goalkeeper came down and tried to make that long clearance, and goalkeepers are not known for accurate passing, but he did hit it out of the arena.
Okay, so a power play for the Rowdies. Shot Ivanchikov out of the field of play. Kick in again for the Rowdies. Barelich to Connell. Barelich again looking for a hat trick. Shot blocked beautifully by Wasmuth. Clearing kick. But again, right back in New England territory. Connell from the left wing, off the board. Good defense by the team in long clearing boot. Comes all the way down. That's not a 3-line pass. It has to be in the air, by the way. This is Wegerle, number 7. 1:20 remains in the penalty. Peterson serving. Penalty was assessed against Wasmuth for delay of game. August couldn't quite line it up, and the shot drilled by Connell.
Nice piece of screening, too, in there by, I think it was by Wegerle. But it was a good goal by Connell. A nice, typical kind of power play goal that you see in this game and in hockey, where you just simply draw a couple of players out of position. There you see Lamptey's been drawn out of position. Alderson had to come over. There's the space in the middle now, and fired away there by Connell on the screen being created by number 7, Steve Wegerle. A classic ice hockey play, really.
Yep, just like the hockey play. And that, of course, releases Peterson from the penalty box, so the teams are now at equal strength, and it is 5-3 Rowdies. And again, you hear that Rowdies theme played here in St. Pete. Shot by Alderson, blocked by the goalkeeper, Bilecki. Time of the goal, 1:08 of play here in the period, or time of the penalty, I should say, 1:08 to Peterson. And he, of course, gets released on the goal by Connell. 5-3. They've had 4 different scorers. Barelich, the only player with 2 for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Kick in once again for the Rowdies as it comes out off the foot of number 2, Helder Matus. Rowdies in the white, back to a 2-goal lead. Long pass down for Peterson on the right side. Off the backboard, a little bit too far out.
He also could have pushed the ball square earlier rather than carrying it quite as deep as he did.
Barelich coming right back. 2 goals tonight, 9 for the season. Leading goal scorer in the division. Here's Connell, who scored the last goal. Ivanchikov. Connell once again. Wegerle doing the same bit of screening for him this time. Brought down by the foot of Helder Matus. Connell was assisted by August on the last goal, although actually it was Wegerle who set up the screen. August is actually the guy who gets the assist. He made the original pass. Peterson. Nice play defensively by the Tampa Bay Rowdies, and that was Wegerle again. No, I'm sorry, Gorman. John Gorman, who made the defensive play. Clock running and 11:19 to go in regulation. 5-3 game. Peterson back.
Good tackle by Ivanchikov. Was not fooled by Peterson's attempt to deke him left and go right.
And it was almost effortlessly, really. And he now leaves the field to be replaced. Van der Veen is back into the game. Harashi is also back in. 2-on-2 fast break here for the Teeman. Tried to connect up with Moan, and Gorman was there to intercept. McLeod, long pass down the right side. Too far for Vanderveen, but he kicked it off the far board. Great play. Right back to his teammate, Peter Anderson. Well, not only are we seeing great offense, we are seeing some great defense tonight. Welch, good play from behind by Qureshi. That's Moan, deflecting the shot by Kevin Welch out of bounds. And the kick-in belongs to Tampa Bay again.
Again, the Tampa Bay defense being very, very stretched by these quick counterattacks. It's remarkable that New England still has the energy to do it, whereas the Tampa Bay attack is a bit more deliberate and not quite as fast and furious.
McLeod up ahead, steal from behind by Ramos. 3-on-2, right side, Moen. Again. And cleared by the Rowdies. Boy, Moen is very, very dangerous. Already with 2 goals. And a big, strong guy, too. Here comes McLeod, straight down the middle. An attempt at the slide tackle doesn't work by Welch. As Qureshi, he's on defense. Stops in his own zone. Vanderveen, lead ball. Tiemann cut it off. John Lignos, number 17, on the steal. Tiemann back. That's Moen, and Vanderveen blocked it. Shot on goal by Welch. Good save once again by Bilecki.
That's the first kind of sustained attack we've seen New England had when they haven't really had a man-up situation. Welch does well to get this shot off. I mean, keeps it nice and low, but it's a bit too far to the goalkeeper's left, and he's easily smothered it.
Right back, and that is Wasmuth for New England, who kicks it off to his right, and an injured Tampa Bay player in the corner. Didn't get a number when he went down, but play continues along.
McLeod, I believe. It's Wes McLeod.
Wes McLeod in the corner, number 8. Play continues on, and he limps back into action. May have to come out of this one for a little respite unless he can shake it off. Moen, number 9, leading up ahead to Johnny Lignos. Shot, Welch just missed.
Oh. Well set up also by Lignos. Lignos and Welch do combine quite well together.
Uh-oh. Goal. No, hits the bar, and then it is cleared. Oh. Thought they had one there.
Cleared off the line also, and Barelich protesting, but the judge was right there. No goal.
No goal. Here's Welch. 3-on-2. Moan right side. Back to Welch. Shot off the body of Gorman. Over the goal. It'll be a corner kick. Let's go back to the post again.
There's the shot. Look at Barelich. Can't believe he missed it. And it hits the goalkeeper's back and starts to roll towards the goal, and then he managed to recover and clear it away. You know, Gorman and Qureshi have been isolated down here twice as 2 defenders against 3 attackers, and they really are showing how you do that situation perfectly by the book, as it were. They followed the flow of the ball very well and allowed the farmost player, the least dangerous player, relative freedom, while they covered the others quite well.
There you see how close in the corners are in this game as opposed to the outdoor game. They can strike like lightning from the corners in this game. There's a lead ball. Auguste coming out. Wasmuth kicks. Good play by the Tiemann's goalkeeper. 7:46 remaining in regulation. 5-3 game, Tampa Bay. Bilecki came out anticipating trouble and handled well.
Right. Goalkeeper distribution is very important in this game. It's important in soccer in general, but in this game it's so important because you've got to come out and use your feet so much more.
5,675.
Well, we have 5,675 paid in the house here at Bayfront Center Arena in St. Petersburg. Good crowd. Vanderveen was all alone there. And here come the Tiemann back.
Oh.
Garnett Moan over to Alderson, but Qureshi on the ball. Up through the neutral zone. There's Barelich getting a good pass. He's going to go one-on-one against the goalkeeper. Wasmuth recovers, going back into the net now. Lead for Qureshi, and blocked by the defender, Leo Ramos. Foot race on. Alderson wins it for the Tiemann for the moment. Qureshi staying right with him. Off the board. Welch was there. Make that read. Tiemann control. Shot wide to the left by Mendez. And Barelich has it for the Rowdies. Midfield intercept by
Rowdy souvenirs and novelties are on
attempt at an intercept doesn't work. Anderson gets it. Barelich. Steal from behind, but right on to Connell. This is Ivanchikov, who's actually an American citizen. Was born in New Jersey. A little over 6 minutes to play in regulation. Connell, who has 1 goal tonight for the Rowdies. Auguste just winds up, doesn't go. Barelich puts the ball in the air for an attempt at a header. The goalkeeper, Wasmuth, beats that attempt. Just laid it out front for Anderson. 5-3, the Rowdies. These are the Rowdies in the white coming back. Barelich to Auguste, right side, and the header misses to the right by Wegerle.
Oh, lovely play. New England lucky to get away now, and a couple of times in these counter-attacks. But they've got to throw all their players forward to try to get a couple of goals. But very nice passing by Tampa Bay, and Wegerle's little glancing header, just a little bit too soft.
5 minutes and 16 seconds to go. If the New England teammen could come back and get a 4th goal and get very close in the game, then you might see him pull that goalkeeper in the last 2 seconds. Just like ice hockey. Barelich with a move. Good play defensively by Lamptey. Lamptey, a Ghanaian, 26, 6'3", 185. Perhaps we haven't mentioned that some of the better players for New England are off for one reason or another. I know we have alluded to that, but they have a great player from Mali named Keita, who has been judged as the finest player ever produced in Africa, who is on a tour of Africa, so I'm sure they miss him. Gorman's shot. Before the rebound can occur, John Lignos is on it for the Teeman.
Well, they missed Keith Weller, of course, who's home for very unfortunate reasons. Keith Weller, the captain of the New England team, his child, his young boy, had just been detected as having a brain tumor, which is a great sadness to all of us in New England who know Keith and what a fine family he has. And he's back seeing what possibly can be done about that at the moment.
Well, let's wish the Weller, the entire Weller family, and the young lad especially, all the best of good wishes. Our prayers will be with him. 4 minutes remaining in regulation. 5-3 the score. Here's Welch coming back. We'll take another look at that last shot on goal.
Very dangerous, but that Lamptey reaching in there and actually touches it back himself. Lamptey's got a terrific reach. He's like our St. Auguste with those long legs, and is able to has really given Barelich a hard time.
And this is Barelich looking for a hat trick tonight. Just holding the ball there, daring the defender Welch to come and get it. And so they do take it eventually. Here's Witt. Witt with a shot on goal and a grounder, and Bilecki there. And he distributes out to Connell on the right side. There's Wegerle. A fast-moving game that's really got everything. Shot, McLeod right side. Connell, Wegerle. That ball is still up for grabs, boy. You don't give up on it. Here's Barelich off the body of Lamptey, who just stood there and said, "Give me your best shot." He got it. Under 3 minutes. Gorman. Oh, there's Barelich off the body of Wasmuth. I really have to commend Wasmuth for a fine game in goal. He's really had some outstanding plays. Play continues on, or does it? Let's see. Have they awarded a free kick? Yeah, it looks like.
Volcano came in pretty hard there, and you see Kevin Welsh just limping off the field along with Reed. They're both working very hard, running very hard, and they need a breather.
Right now, I should like to say I think both teams are tired. They show some signs of it in the final 2.5 minutes, but they've given us a great indoor soccer match here in St. Petersburg. We're down to 2 minutes and 13 seconds to play in regulation. Alderson comes back up. Brian Alderson, an Englishman who played 8 years in England. Actually, he's a Scotsman, I'm told, Seamus. And did play for English teams for 8 years.
As he's formed a great partnership with Mick Flanagan in the first season of the team, and Flanagan not signed by them in the second season. But he really was really sort of the only offensive threat that New England had this season, when they had a very unhappy experience in the wrong stadium, the stadium they didn't want to be in, with the players that they really didn't want to have. But now that they appear to be back in shape, I'm sure that Noel Cantwell is lining up some more players in England to accompany Alderson.
About 1.5 minutes to go, and that try by Wegerle was smothered by Wasmuth. Pitches out here, under 1.5 minutes to go. Back here for the team, and Alderson. Mendez is in the middle, Kano on the right. Shot by Alderson, and a good save again by Bilecki. 1:15 to go. 5-3 Rowdies. It continues, and watch this Bilecki again.
Oh, a nice shot. He made some space there and got the shot off, and a good save by Bilecki.
Well, and just as we came back, that shows you how quickly this game can change complexions. With 1:03, the New England team-in strike with lightning, and they are back within 1 goal, 5-4. And I believe it was Brian Alderson, wasn't it? 15? Yep.
Yes, Brian Alderson
got it. So a 5-4 game. And now you might really see that goalkeeper come out. We saw it in the Memphis-Los Angeles Aztecs game. Late in the game, with Memphis down by a goal, they pull their goalkeeper out. He has to put on a shirt, though, that other player, and then he can come out and become a 6th attacker.
Well, let's see if Tampa's going to try to hold possession here. They're shouting to each other, 1 minute, just 1 minute, which means they're really just going to try to keep the ball for 1 minute, really not let the team-men get it.
Kick in for the Rowdies.
They could conceivably do, although it's a little tough to do indoors. A bit too congested for that. But they're obviously going to try to kill it.
Yeah, they can use a lot of the field, though. It's 185 long by 85 feet wide. At least here. In other locations, it's 200 by 85. This one measures 185 long. 30 seconds to go. Keep away being played here by Tampa Bay, and a foul has been committed by Kano. Says, what did I do?
That's questionable call. Again, they're both equally guilty of bumping each other. I think they might have let it go, or else just call a drop ball, because they each foul the other.
Well, the Rowdies are now 18 seconds away from their 4th win in 5 games of the indoor season. 14 seconds away, and just hanging on to the ball. The deep freeze. 10 seconds. 8 seconds. And the big attack coming up with 4, 3, 2, 1. It's over.
The Tampa Bay Rowdies take the win.
Well, it's just about as exciting a game as you'd want to see. The Tampa Bay Rowdies, as we watch the Wowdies and Santa Claus's helpers. The Rowdies hanging on for a 5-4 win over the New England team-in here at St. Petersburg, Florida. And we'll be back with a recap of tonight's game right after these words. Well, there's the Christmas greeting to the crowd. They call them fannies here in St. Petersburg, Florida, from the Wowdies, the cheerleaders for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. And we would like to echo their sentiments. A very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of you, from all of us at ESPN. Our thanks to our technical director, Lee Love. On audio tonight, Ken Cheek. Slow-mo man was Mike McCown. Graphics, Maureen Van Buskirk. Our engineer, Mark Schaefer. Our camera people, Yemel and Melba Holtum. Larry Rao. Our stage manager was Priscilla Durhan. Jim Van Buskirk, our production assistant. Of course, our producer director, Jim Stewart. Great shots in the truck, gentlemen. It was a fine game. Very, very fine. Very exciting, Seamus. 5-4, the Tampa Bay Rowdies over the New England team-in.
Well, the streak continues. This is the 5th time now in the history of the franchise that Tampa has taken New England. They're 5-0, and a real frustrating game for New England, because they were outmanned, outskilled, but they played with tremendous heart, and eventually superior skill took the day. No question, Tampa missed some great chances early on. Could have blown the game away by 5 or 6 goals, but remarkable to me is the fact that New England, despite the fact that they put so much energy in the game, were still able to come back, but yet with just over a minute to go and put a 4th goal in and just never gave up. But a tremendous match, really, and a great game for this sport.
If I had to pick 2 outstanding players tonight, I think I'd go with the goalkeeper for the Rowdies. Bilecki was just outstanding. Certainly not to take anything away from the guy who scored 2 goals tonight, Peter Barelich. He just does it all the time. Bilecki, I thought, was outstanding.
Yes.
And over on the New England side, you got to go with Moan, who had 2 goals, and that's not to slight some of the other players. They did a fine job.
Moan had a particularly good third quarter when he really came to life. He had a couple of unfortunate bad passes early on that put him under a lot of pressure, so he really came through in the third quarter and showed us some of the things he's capable of doing. But this New England team, I think, is going to be fun to watch, even though they don't have the big names and the real international skill players. They really give you your money's worth.
Well, they get a chance in just a few days because they will play Tampa Bay again up on their own home arena, which is the Providence Civic Center in Providence, Rhode Island. That game coming up on December 28th. Well, it really has been a most enjoyable game. As a matter of fact, this is a new venture for a lot of us, this indoor soccer, and it is indeed for the league, the North American Soccer League, fielding 10 teams this year. And I think the experiment so far is a very, very classy one.
Well, when you come into a town like this, which has great soccer enthusiasm to begin with, you know it's going to be conveyed with class and with just done in the right way, because that's the way Tampa does things for soccer. And the fans are tremendously enthusiastic, and it really doesn't take a lot of people in here to create the noise and atmosphere that you want. And then the sport itself sort of plays to that atmosphere because the constant action. I think New England had something like 45 shots in tonight's game, and that's what fans want to see.
Well, we'll be seeing more NASL indoor soccer. Our next game will pit the Atlanta Chiefs. We've already seen them once. And the Fort Lauderdale Strikers from West Palm Beach Auditorium in West Palm Beach, Florida.
That should be a good game. I think Fort Lauderdale has not really come to life yet. They lost a tough 5-4 game to New England. Atlanta had been in first place, and as the coach of the Atlanta team said to me before the game, when have you heard of any team in Atlanta being in first place in the sport? They got knocked out down here by Tampa, who looks to me to be the class of the league, really. But I think Atlanta's going to be a fun team to watch as well.
Well, we've enjoyed it. We certainly hope that you've enjoyed it. And again, our best wishes for a very, very happy holiday season. The winning goal turns out to be won by Connell, number 6, and Moan with 2 goals, Barelich with 2 goals the other way for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Happy holiday to all of you from ESPN. Once again, the final score, the Tampa Bay Rowdies defeat the New England Seamen tonight at Bayfront Center Arena in St. Petersburg, Florida, 5-4. Now, for Seamus Mellon and myself and our entire crew, this is Lou Palmer wishing you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.